So in the Federal Reserve Education Department, so FRED, and what you do is in the search bar, you put purchasing power of the consumer dollar. And when you do, what you see is back in 1913, a dollar bought a dollar's worth of goods. Today, 3 cents is all you've got out of that original dollar's worth of purchasing power. Can you tell me what you can buy for 3 cents? Nothing. So that's what I mean. That's officially because that's the Federal Reserve telling you, well, yes, we've already robbed you of 97% of your purchasing power. We're going to be taking more because, as he said, it's time to change their policy pivot and drop those rates down. And what that really means is we need more inflation. Okay, what that really means is there is too much value left in this. That's how you know that's a negative trend. Because they're sitting there, the central banks are telling you, when they want more inflation, they're telling you, this stuff is overvalued and we're gonna take it down. This is undervalued and it's going to go up in terms of these.
Have you ever seen it where we're gaining purchasing power, where we've gained purchasing power back, if you will?
Oh my gosh. Actually, there were 2 key times when it looked like it. So if you just move the decimal point 2 places, there's your dollar and you can see it way up there. Now, you can see here that it did go up, but the period of time that I really want to focus on is right here, 1930 to 1933. And you see how much the purchasing power went up on the consumer dollar? But I want you to think about your history books. Did you ever read anywhere how it got so much better for people during the Depression between 1929 and 1933? That would be a no. But what I also want to point out is even during that period of time, and many of you might remember my horse pictures I used to have behind me, and there was Seabiscuit. And so there are always people that have money. Even if 90% of the population is in abject poverty, I didn't say 100%, because wealth never disappears, it just shifts location. So between 1929 and 1933, it appeared as if the purchasing power went up. But it really didn't. That was just a phenomenon, right? To make it appear that it got better, but you know it really didn't. The other place, which many of you might actually remember, goes back to 2008. And you see how we've got a little bump up in purchasing power here? But that was also during the period of time, and you might remember this, when every time you went to the grocery store, prices were noticeably higher. So actually what makes it appear that purchasing power went up was that the default rates, that debt disappeared. So it just creates this phenomenon that on a graph makes it look like it's going up, but in reality, it's getting worse for most people. Since this goes from 2008 all the way down, you can see this was just, this data was pulled on the 14th of August. That's the most current one. And you can certainly see that it has continually gone down. And not only that, but it's gone down at a much faster rate since 2020. Basically what Powell is saying is we need more of this. We need the value of the dollar to go down more. That's what happens when you drop rates. That encourages borrowing and spending, and it devalues what is already out there until eventually you lose confidence. That's what's going to make the difference. It's when you, the public, go, you know what, this is garbage. I'm not working for this anymore. I'm not trying to save this anymore. That's why you've got to have sound money.